Alright, so this here is the Vuzix M4000 smart glasses, and I just want to compare the actual footage. This is a Canon T6i EOS camera. It only records at full HD with 1080p, I think max at 29 or 30 frames per second. The Vuzix M4000 reports being able to record 4K at up to 30 frames per second. So I'm going to compare that 4K to the 1080p in the camera. So as you can see the view out here, I'm just going to do a sweeping view with the M4000, which is recording. And so basically, I'm just going to take a look out, all around this area here. So anyways, I purchased the M4000 because I wanted to kind of get an idea of what the camera quality was going to be like. I was interested in the first person perspective to be able to, like when I'm working on either woodworking projects or, like if I'm working with rebuilding a computer. I feel like that first person perspective is unique and nice. With this particular M4000, I'm able to see through the lens here so that I can see what I'm working on, and having an unobstructed view, and then also being able to kind of articulate the camera up and down accordingly helps you to get the shot that you want to get. I actually had my wife try this out when she was using her embroidery machine, and I'll put a little bit of footage of that in this video as well. But the main thing is, like I said, I wanted to see what the difference in the camera quality between the M4000, and then I'm comparing it to this DSLR, but I'm also going to compare it to 24 frame per second 1080p with the actual Vuzix Blade, the upgraded model, so you can kind of see the difference in the camera quality as far as recording footage. I'll take a couple photos too, so you can kind of look at the stills. The main thing for me is, this headband, it's not too uncomfortable, and it's nice as far as being able to have both of my hands free while I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing. I don't have to worry about a camera, and then I also don't have to worry about what's in the shot because I can see it through the actual waveguide technology. One of the challenges that I was having with the Vuzix Blade was the fact that with the Vuzix Blade, especially in low light, the camera really just doesn't hold up. When you move your head, there's a lot of pixelation and artifact. Also, it's just not a lot of detail. I find that it's pretty grainy, especially with head movement. So we're just going to compare this M4000, which, of course, price-wise, this thing is actually like 2.5 times the price. I think the Vuzix Blade is going for about $9.99, a grand, and this particular headset setup is actually $24.95 with tax. It's like $2,800. So it's quite a jump as far as in price, and I just wanted to see if the actual video quality and just the usability, if it was worth the upgrade for me. So again, I'm just kind of scanning, taking a look at what I can see. I'm just kind of recording the footage, and then here in just a second I'm gonna go ahead and switch out, and I'm gonna put on the Vuzix Blade, and I'm just gonna do a panning shot of this area so that those could be compared. I guess I should go ahead and take a couple photos before I finish this video. So let's go ahead and stop. Let's go over the camera. I'm going to take a picture of the camera. And then I'll take just a wide angle picture here. Let's see if I can pick something out. One thing to take a picture of. Let's try this. All right, let's go ahead and switch over to the Vuzix Blade now. All right, so now I got on the Vuzix Blade smart glasses here. This is the upgraded version, of course. And so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the camera. As far as wearability, this is a lot more comfortable than the M4000, and it's a lot more sleek. Obviously, it looks a little better. So right now I'm looking at the camera, and then now I'm going to sweep back around and just kind of look at the area here. And again, this is recording at 1080p, 24 frames per second. So wearable wise, I really like the actual Vuzix Blade better than the M4000. The M4000 does have an upgraded user interface on the inside by comparison to the Vuzix Blade. It also has a 8-core processor. It's actually using a XR chip, which is used in some modern VR headsets. So it's a powerful chip. The Vuzix Blade only has a quad-core processor inside of it, so you know, half the power, and it's obviously it's also equipped with only an 8-megapixel camera versus the M4000. It has I want to say a 12.8 megapixel camera. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to take a couple photos just to see, and we'll kind of compare. I'm going to take a picture of the camera. And then now I'm going to take this Leatherman. It's a multi-tool, and I'm going to take a picture of it. And as I said, wearing both of them, the Vuzix Blade actually is a lot more natural in as far as the, you know, wearability. I normally wear glasses, so you know, that's probably why it's a lot more natural. The M4000, I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable. It is awkward to wear because you either have to wear it with the headband, or they have some safety glasses that it can affix to. The safety glasses are okay. I do feel like you would probably need to wear the strap that goes around the back, holding the glasses on your head, or else, like, looking over, I could see them kind of falling off, and that's you know, $2,800 falling off your face. So I wouldn't necessarily advise wearing it without the strap on the back. The head strap, it's okay. The problem that I have with it, there's a whole lot of jitter when you walk. It just kind of vibrates there, and it really messes up your video image. And obviously, if you were moving your head, it's going to mess up your camera, your photos as well. So that's not really an ideal situation. You'd really have to be very purposeful and move your head in a very meticulous way. Now, I bring all this up, you know, talking about the M4000, and then also, you know, the Vuzix Blade, the upgraded version, which I'm wearing now, to lead into the new Vuzix product that's going to be coming up here. I don't know if it's later this year or early next year, but it's called the Vuzix Shield. It's branded as basically like a safety glasses alternative with smart technology, just like the Vuzix Blade. It is not a consumer-facing product. It's going to be coming in based upon the information that I was able to find on YouTube and online at about $1,999. So it's not a very consumer friendly price, but it is not meant for consumers. That particular product is going to have a camera on both sides up here, on both ends. The glasses actually fold all the way like normal glasses, unlike the actual Vuzix Blade. And it is going to be equipped, from the information that I was able to read online, it is going to be equipped with the same processor that is in the M4000 that goes for $24.95 at base price. And it's going to have, obviously upgraded camera. So I'm thinking that it's going to have that, probably that 12.8 megapixel camera. Now, my original Blade I did not purchase at full price. Forgive me. There was maybe like a Father's Day type of thing where they dropped the price to $7.99, and I purchased it at that price. And then after owning it, I did send it back within the 30-day time frame, because I was just kind of unsure about the product. But what ended up happening was using it within that 30 days, it just added to my tech. And I really enjoyed what I was able to do with it, being able to, as I said, you can watch Netflix on it, you can watch Amazon Prime Video on it. As I put in another video before, you can actually take movies, your own video collection, and put it into the Blades so that you can watch videos anywhere. It doesn't have a great camera, or I wouldn't call it a great camera, but it does have a camera that you can catch photos or videos if you needed to in a pinch. I use some of the footage in some of my videos. It's not the greatest. It can be grainy. It doesn't keep up well with fast head movements, but it is a camera that you can utilize if you needed to in a pinch. The main qualities that I like in the Vuzix Blade is just that kind of that independent theater. It's not a huge screen that you're looking at, and it is not binocular, meaning in both eyes. Now, the Vuzix Shield is going to have a binocular display, which I'm kind of on the fence about. It really depends on the implementation, how it actually works out in space, because having a binocular display could lead to more distraction if you're actually trying to do something else. Now, obviously, if you're using a binocular display and your goal is simply to consume content, then that's perfect. But we'd have to see Vuzix actual application, how it actually is implemented, to make sure that you will actually be able to work on whatever it is that you're working on, and also kind of refer back to the digital image that's being produced by the smart glasses themselves. The other thing, another concern I have with the Vuzix Shield is battery life. If you're really using the Vuzix Blade hard and you do not hook it to, like, say, the collar battery or an external battery to basically keep it charged up, you will kill the Vuzix Blade in 2 hours, without a problem. Now, I was able to get through an entire work shift with my Vuzix Blade, where all I did was receive notifications from my phone, and I would just kind of swipe it away or click it away. I didn't do any video recording. I didn't do any video watching, none of that. And I was able to make it through an 8-hour shift. Now, that was when my Vuzix Blade were brand new. That was when the device was brand new. And we know that over time, technology ages and batteries degrade. And so, whereas before you may have had a certain amount of hours of usage with an electronic device when it's new, when it gets older, it's going to decrease. So I could see in the future, not being able to get a full 8 hours of minimal use out of the Vuzix smart glasses. And as I said, for all of the things that they've talked about with the Vuzix Shield that I've seen so far, the main thing is the binocular display, the dual cameras, and then just improved like they have smaller I guess cameras inside of there, to where that's how they're able to actually fold the glasses, as opposed to whereas the previous version, they fold here halfway through, so you can't, you know, fold them up like a pair of glasses and stick them in your pocket. They are still, they're pretty long. I did see them actually folded in a video on YouTube, so they're not going to be the, you know, when you fold a pair of glasses, they're not going to be the same size as a regular pair of glasses. They're still going to have some bulk to them. I've not heard anything about upgrades in battery. I've also not heard of anything in regards to a more elegant solution, you know, beyond the collar battery, you know, in regards to keeping those glasses topped up throughout the day. Things that I use to actually keep my Vuzix Blade topped up when I use them are, I use magnetic micro USB connectors. I'll plug it in, and then I'll have one of those magnetic USB cords that are they're very pliable, so that they kind of drape in different ways. They're not kind of hard like this particular wire here and stiff, so that would give me the ability to kind of have it just kind of drape down, and I'll have like a battery bank in a pocket on my body somewhere or whatever. It's doable. However, you know, I mean, it's so much more liberating and freeing to wear the Vuzix Blade with no cords attached to it. But then, like I said, if you're going to really be utilizing a Vuzix Blade, you're only going to get a couple hours of battery life out of it. And I'm not really, I definitely wouldn't say that it's worth spending $1,000 for 2 hours worth of usage. You definitely would have to invest in a external battery pad, and like I personally recommend using a magnetic battery adapter, so that way you can actually connect it when you want it. You know, like if you look and you see the battery life is down, you could just connect it and charge it back up, because it charges fairly quickly because it's a small battery, and then you could just disconnect it and go back to having hands free, cord free movement. That's what I do. Like if I wear it to work, or if I wear it out and about, I'll use that magnetic thing. I do like the collar battery. It's, you know, convenient as well, because it kind of rests over your neck here, kind of like a, I don't know, like one of those neck Bluetooth speakers or a neck fan. And the benefit is it is kind of flexible as far as being able to turn your head. You don't have something hanging, you know, you don't have to have a battery in a chest pocket, or have a cord running all the way down to your front or back pocket to keep the device topped up. The downfall is I like to use my Vuzix Blade when I'm working on things. And so, like, say for instance, I've tried this before where I'm up under my car working on my car, and I'd forget and have the neck battery on, and it just falls back off of me, and then next thing you know, it's putting pressure on the micro USB port because it's all twisted up and hanging. And so it's not a super elegant solution. So as I said, Vuzix Shield, you're talking about $19.99 in price, not a consumer price. You're also talking about improved optics, or as far as camera, probably 12.8, maybe in both sides. So you're going to have more battery draw with the cameras. You're going to have more battery draw definitely with binocular display in both sides. So, you know, that's going to lead to more battery drain. So then think about it. If they don't improve the battery technology, you're talking about a $1,999 device that, if the battery technology is not improved, could potentially give you an hour worth of usage, heavy usage. I do hope that they, you know, either go to some kind of a magnetic charging solution, or that they move over to USB-C, something that's more universal. The micro USB, I just don't like those ports. They deteriorate over time. And, you know, obviously you would have to send it into Vuzix to have it repaired if it does deteriorate. That's another reason why I would use the magnetic adapters, because you put it in there and you know how you don't have to pull it out and put it back in, pull it out and put it back in. You put it in there, you leave it in there, and then when you need to juice up the device, you just have to connect it to charge. Now, there is one drawback to using a magnetic charger, and that is the fact that I have not found a magnetic charging cable that actually transmit data. So basically, if I do a screen capture with the Vuzix Blade and then I decide, hey, I want to pull that screen capture off and put it on my PC to, you know, upload that footage or do whatever I want to do with it, it will not read. It will not connect. I actually have to go and get the hardwired micro USB cable that came with my Vuzix for data transfer to occur from my Vuzix Blade glasses to my PC. The M4000, it actually comes with the USB-C to C and also a USB-C to A cable, and I have had no issues with transferring my data over to my PC directly from that device. That device comes with a 64 gigabyte internal storage. It does not have a micro SD slot, so there's no expandable storage. And after, with the operating system that's on the device, you're talking about only like 40, I'll get the exact number, but it's like between 50 and 40 something gigabytes worth of usable storage. So I think I did a video recorded 4K, and it wasn't that long, but it actually took up about 38 gigabytes just for that one video recording. So that's something you have to be mindful of. If you did go with the M4000 and you don't have the upgradable, or you don't have extra storage and you're recording in 4K, you're gobbling up that memory on that device, which means you're going to have to disconnect it, plug it into your computer, move all that data over. The data transfer speed is not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great. And something that I don't like about the M4000 is every time I plug it into my computer, I have to go into the device and select for it to transfer files. Now, putting these glasses on is easy. I just put it on and do whatever. But with the M4000, you actually either have to kind of stretch the headband out and put it on and then get it in the right place to deal with it, or you find yourself holding the thing with one hand and trying to cycle through the menus, you know, to switch it to that setting. That's cumbersome to me, you know what I'm saying? Because what that means is, like, every time I take off the M4000, I basically need to, you know, think in advance and say, okay, switch it over to data transfer mode, and then take it off, and then directly plug it into the computer, because it always reverts back to basically like just charging. It doesn't stay in data transfer mode. And obviously, anybody that knows anything about electronics, when you don't have something in data transfer mode, you plug it into your computer, it's not recognized, so you can't get the footage off of the device. So I think that's pretty much everything that I have to say about the Vuzix M4000. It's, you know, I have to compare this 4K footage with, you know, the footage maybe from my GoPro, and then compare it also to this 1080p DSLR camera to try to see if it's going to work for me. Because I'm looking for a unique video recording perspective for, you know, both my YouTube videos and just my personal enjoyment. Because when I'm working on something, whether it be my car or woodworking, I may want to record those steps so I can refer back to it later and use that, if, you know, because I don't do this full time, and, you know, like, you know, there's, you know, like, you don't change your oil on your car or do your tune-up every day or every week or every month. And as a result, when you go back to do it, it's like, okay, which socket is that again? What, you know, where's that tool? Or, you know, what's the method that I'm supposed to use to do this? So when you don't do it day in and day out as a professional, some of those details kind of get lost. And, you know, if you're able to record your footage of what you're doing, you can just kind of refer to it, and then it just makes it a much more seamless process. Because, you know, every time I go to change my brakes, it's a headache, because I'm like, oh, how do I do this again? How do I get the, you know, the caliper to open up, and, you know, that whole thing. It's like, if I would have recorded it the first time, you know, as I was learning it, then a year later, 18 months later, maybe 2 years if you're lucky, when I change those brakes again, I just watch the footage, review it, and it's a lot smoother transition, and I don't have to have my blood pressure go up every time I go to do the same task. And I would rather do it myself, because it's a lot cheaper than paying someone else. Anyways, that's it for this particular video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for taking time to watch. Take care.